Today's lesson is 11.6, solving inequalities by adding or subtracting. So step 1 is to add or subtract the same number to both sides of the inequality, just like an equation. So if it's just like an equation, the only difference is that it will have, instead of an equal sign, it will have a symbol greater than or less than, or greater than and equal to, or less than or equal to. So number 1 set, or the directions in your classwork and homework will say solve and check and graph each inequality. You have to look at the directions in your classwork to find out what you have to do. Looking at number 1, change your subtraction sign to addition, just like what you've always done, and make this 12, positive 12 and negative 12. Pretend that if this was an equal sign, what would you have actually done? Well, you know that you would have made a line here. You would have added 12 on both sides. The 12s cancel out, you're left with x. Make your symbol greater than. 32 plus 12 is 44. Okay, now to do your check, you rewrite the original problem. X plus negative 12 is greater than 32. Normally, if it was an equal sign, we would have added 44 to the x, but it says x is greater than 44, so that means that you have to think of a number that is greater than 44. Any number, well, we'll just put 45. 45 is greater than 44, so 45 plus negative 12 is greater than 32. 45 minus 12 is 33, is greater than 32. Is that true? Yes, it is, so that checks out. Now to graph it, look at x is greater than 44, any number is greater than 44, so I'm going to put 44 here, 45, 46, 47. You only need to put about 4 numbers here. Now here, it says greater than 44. That tells you that this is an open circle, and then it is going to the right because your greater sign is going to the right. Okay, let's look at number 2. Change your subtraction sign to addition, make that a negative 8. You're going to add 8 on both sides, and you get negative 6 is greater than or equal to y. Now personally for me, I would switch this around so you have y is less than or equal to negative 6. Right, to do your check, you write negative 14 is greater than or equal to y plus negative 8. Always rewrite the original. And that says y is less than or equal to negative 6. And think of a number that is less than negative 6, which would be negative 5. So negative 14 is greater than or equal to negative 5 plus negative 8. Negative 14 is greater than or equal to negative 13. So is this true? Yes, it is, and that checks. Now, just because you just did the top one, but now you have the equal sign, so you have to do another check for the equal part to see if that is correct. So you have negative 14 is greater than or equal to y plus negative 8. Negative 14 is greater than or equal to negative 6 plus negative 8. Negative 14 is greater than or equal to negative 14. So that is correct, so you can check that. To graph it, say y is less than or equal to negative 6. Well, here's negative 6. You got to think of numbers that are greater or less than negative 6. So that would be negative 6, negative 7, negative 8. Okay, so then it would be, since this is equal to, this is a closed circle, this direction tells us we're going this direction to the left, and there's your answer. Try 3 on your own, and when you're ready, go ahead and push play. So you should have subtracted 9 on both sides, and you would have gotten c is less than 11. To do your check, you rewrite the original problem. Replace c. Okay, c is less than 11. Think of a number that is less than 11, which would be 10 plus 9 is less than 20. 19 is less than 20. That's correct. So that checks out. And then C is less than 11, so it would be 11, 10, 9, 8. This is a open circle because it's just less than, and then it's going toward your left. Okay, number 4 says Sunday's high temperature is 52. Sunday's high temperature of 52 was at least 20 degrees higher than Monday's high temperature. What was Monday's high temperature? Write an equality to represent the problem, then solve and graph your solution. Here you have Sunday's high. And what's Sunday's high? Well, we know Sunday's high is 52. It was at least, well, that tells us it's greater than or equal to 20 degrees higher than the Monday's. Well, if it's higher than, are you adding, subtracting, or multiplying? You are adding. And Monday's temperature, that's when we want to find out. So that's your unknown, which would be X. You're going to subtract 20 on both sides. And you're left with X. And this would be 32. Now for me, I personally would switch this around, so the X is less than or equal to 32 degrees. Now to graph it, you have 32. We know it says it's less than 32, so it'll be 31, 30, 29. I'll make my arrow here. It says less than or equal to, so that means that 32 is included in this set. And then you're going to make your arrow going toward your left. And there's your answer.